my god. Alright, welcome everybody to the O Show. It's been a rough start here, but we do have two YouTubers, one comedian and another comedian, I would say, to a certain extent, but not really.
That was easy.
That was easy.
What?
Good intro.
I'm a comedian.
You're not a comedian, but you're a funny YouTuber.
Thank you.
That's what I'm
But I'm not a
He's
comedian.
a comedian, you're a funny YouTuber.
There's a very big difference, actually.
It is.
What is the threshold?
I don't know. Someone who's really good at comedy and someone who isn't. So
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. I'll take
Well,
the
let
weird
me-
compliment.
Let me take that second right there. So we've got Gareth Woods, my co-host, and we are joined by Mr. Grant Hinds, who is shy of almost 10,000 subscribers. Just at the 9K now.
yeah, it's
So
close.
you're a pretty big YouTuber.
Not very shy. Pretty damn close, actually.
Yeah. Isn't what does shy mean? Means close, right?
Close.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we're close. We're getting there. Holding thumbs. Hopefully
Is
it
there a
happens.
party at 10,000? Have you got something planned?
I don't know. Actually, I've been thinking about it. I'm thinking of doing a charity live stream. So I'll be picking your guys' brains.
Charity
about that.
live stream. Yeah, that's one thing. Every time we've had our conversation, I say, Grant, why don't you live stream? But we'll talk about that in a moment. So Grant Hinds here. He's going to tell us a little bit about what it means to be a YouTuber. Gareth is obviously going to talk more about the YouTube stuff,
And take notes, obviously.
And that's more his his forte. I will obviously just be here to ask any more important questions. But right before the podcast, yeah, it's gonna get deep, man. This is the no holding back podcast. We're just gonna ask
Deep
all the
or
words.
like aggressive?
Deep and aggressive, like you like it.
From time to time.
Comedian, ladies and gentlemen, 2016.
Okay, so let's jump straight into it. So before we went live, while we were just messing around and taking hours to set everything up, you were telling us about Grant Hinds, growing up, etc. So just give us a brief. I know you did your story on YouTube, which we will add in the description. You'll draw myself.
Draw my life, yeah.
Draw
Draw
my-
myself.
draw my life.
Here's a video of me just drawing a self-portrait.
Psych, it's a mirror.
All right, so okay, tell us a bit about Grant Hinds.
I grew up in South Africa. I'm South African, which is great, and it's supposed
Story checks out. Cool.
yeah. What specifically, what info are you looking for?
What's important to the story?
I mean, okay, so basically, you're a kid. You look like you're a kid. You look like you're pretty active sport-wise. I know you. I think you love football, if I'm not mistaken. No?
No.
We have had discussions. All right, this is the worst.
No.
All right.
I like basketball.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.
Here's a fun fact. I was first team basketball at one of
there you
boys'
go.
high
Okay,
school.
so you're a sporty kid. How did you get into gaming? That's where I'm going with this.
Okay, I wasn't a sporty kid. I did basketball because I couldn't do water polo. And I heard it was torture.
And you into hip hop.
And I was into I was into hip hop. I was
great.
part of a hip hop crew in high school, which was really fun, and actually into varsity. It's my jam. I actually didn't really fit in at school. Video games aren't what they are now. If you talk to kids now, video games is like pretty much the cool thing to do, and
Yeah.
people are sharing games and talking about what they're playing on their phones and stuff. Back then, for us, it wasn't. It was you kind of made fun of. So I kind of had a different group of friends. We used to LAN over the weekends. We used to jam, play like
games?
Quake.
Oh, yeah.
I got owned in Quake. I got owned at CS. I got owned. This was before 1.6, and then 1.6. Show my age. And
So it's not that you didn't get owned in 1.6, but you also got owned before that. is what
yeah.
you're saying.
I
Okay.
just got my ass handed to me the entire time. It was cool.
What's the first game you remember kind of like jamming seriously?
What, competitively or just like
Just like...
the first one I ever played was probably Cull Games.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
Like my dad had a green and black computer in the one room, and my older brother, he would bring in floppy disks of games and played Formula One.
When floppy disks were literally floppy disks.
Yeah, they
about
were
that size,
they were huge. They were like fat paper fans. And then F1 178. Did anyone play that?
Yeah.
Did you play that?
Yeah.
What a game! Stealth fighters. It was it was a flight simulator for like.
You're making Kyle feel very, very young now.
That game was the bomb. Like it really, I killed so many Saturdays like doing it green and black.
I remember
wear glasses
Montezuma's
now.
Revenge. I don't know if you remember that guy.
A friend had it and
Little
played.
2D platformer.
Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days.
So very long ago.
Yo, this was super long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, even at school, just after, like, I was in grade 1 and 2, like, so A and B, and the computer room had tape decks with games on tape cassettes.
Airwolf. I remember Airwolf on tape
We're
deck.
going down this road again.
So yeah, if you asked me, like, the first games I played, that fascinated me. I didn't understand how that worked out. How they got games onto a cassette tape.
Yeah.
How does it
You
work?
tried to explain it last time. Very
Yeah,
briefly.
I just remember lots of hidings for stealing my
Yeah.
dad's, like, tapes and recording games on them. Bye-bye. Def Leppard, I
Yeah,
think.
Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull. So it was from there, and then got into the console stuff with the NES, and then Sega Mega Drive. My brother and I saved up for that, and then we saved up for PlayStation 1. And then there was this weird time in high school where I thought games were for... Actually, it was first year varsity. No, it was in high school. I thought that games were for, like, kids, and I, like, basically stopped playing games and gave my consoles away.
Oh, yeah?
Worst thing to have done.
When did you kind of go, gaming could be a career?
I never really thought that. I went to varsity. I studied art direction and advertising. I loved playing games the whole way through. I was first in line for Half-Life 2 launch day. I was there for the Steam anomaly, calling friends, going, why is the game not on the disc? Like it took me about 2 hours to work out what was happening, and
down
then
into your 56k and download your game.
Yeah, and my parent, it was on a Thursday, as far as I can remember, and the following day, my mother said that, like, you had that R7 telecom special.
Oh,
you could dial in for $7 for the whole weekend, and my mom was like, you can download the rest, and I think it was 250 megs, and it took
With those days forever. But
Sure.
I remember those days, if the phone dropped, like, for whatever reason,
It's a
because
reconnect.
calls cut out all the time back in those days.
No,
Like,
somebody would call the landline.
yeah, and it would kill
cut
everything.
out the
But you
internet.
would just, like, if the phone rang, dial for the phone before anyone in the house heard it ring, put it down, and just, no, the internet didn't go down. It's still the same R7, don't worry about it. Meanwhile, like, the 6th or 7th time that hour, that it's, like, reset.
Yeah, and parents, like, we pay a fortune for internet now. Like, God forbid we paid 50 Rand for internet that month, so...
It's actually true. Like, I mean, like, when we got the fiber back in the old house, I mean, it was something like 1800.
You just jumped 20 years. Like,
Yeah, we got the fiber back in
No,
the
I'm
old
saying,
house.
it's like 1,800 Rand for fiber, and I mean, I speak to people overseas, and they're like, gee, man, we paid like £20 for like
Yeah.
200 meg.
and it's way faster and way
Yeah.
more reliable.
Yeah.
And
But
Look,
it's...
Well, we pay far less for a sandwich, so if you want to be competitive
That's
here.
But what do you need to live, Grant?
I don't know.
Sandwich
It's a
or
good
internet?
question. It's a good question.
The two come hand in hand in the end. I mean, you gotta you gotta earn your sandwiches by YouTube. But let's talk about YouTube. So you studied advertising and
Yeah,
art
so
directing.
I studied advertising, got into art direction. I was putting together my portfolio for getting into my first job.
Yeah.
When I left, and I was a huge nerd into video games, so like that never has left me. And I used to work at a restaurant while I was studying to pay my way, and there was somebody doodling cartoons on the like comic book characters on like a napkin. And I was like, yo, like I do that too. And I used to take the train into college every day. College was in town. I was in like Claremont side. And I used to draw comic books. I used to draw comic books in high school, but I used to draw comic books into train.
You still have them?
Yeah, I've still got a whole bunch of those there.
Collector's editions.
They are all lying around somewhere in my cupboard.
Buy some first prints
lots
there.
of sketchbooks. Really embarrassing stuff, but also like as a teenager would draw, but as an adult, like
boy.
there's more interesting stuff. My art has refined. That's kind of why I did the Draw My Life video. Like I actually want to.
I was actually really good. I was actually going to message you and be like, Grant, did you really draw this?
Yeah.
Like, did you?
Thank you.
Did you draw this, or did you
Steal it of some obscure Russian
Or the
kids.
Les, like, give you a
Yeah,
hand?
you had the same story as me.
Because Les looks like someone who's like can draw. I don't know, just like I don't know, not at all.
Some people look like they can draw.
Yeah, look at him. You're like, you know, you could put two shapes together. And, like,
I don't look like I can draw.
No, you do look like you draw.
But you have a lot of talents.
I
You have a
don't
lot of
draw.
talents. I just thought maybe
My acrylic paint on my hand.
You'd be cut off. You'd be cut off. Like you got lots of talents. You can speak well, videos, blah 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 blah. And you just be cut off. Like no, you will not draw well. That's not allowed. You know?
You can't have
no,
everything.
no, but like that was great. I mean, I saw it. I mean, a lot of the guys that do those draw my life, not draw myself. They do them. I mean, like they all look pretty good. So I mean, like, is it like a prerequisite? You enjoy life, you have to be a really good artist.
No, I've seen terrible
I've
ones.
seen horrible ones.
Yeah, PewDiePie's one's pretty bad, but
Yeah.
it's funny, but it's bad. You can see he's.
But I mean, that's the kind of thing. I mean, you say you on your studies, you started in comics, and then you kind of always playing games.
And then I approached this. Yeah, I've always been in that culture. And that guy said, "Hey, look," I said, "Hey, I draw," and he said, "Hey, like, come into the office. We're looking for illustrators." Never thought I'd get into illustration. Rocked up with my portfolio. Like, I won a Lurie when I was at college. I was super like psyched about what I was doing. I was going to hit the advertising scene hard, and then they went through my portfolio and put it aside. 3 years of my studies, I was so disheartened. They were like, were you drawings? And I was like, I took the train this. I was like, I got my sketchbook here. And they're like, cool, you're hired. And I was like, I'm freaking out because my mom, I came home and I said, like, I got the job based on the stuff. And my mom was like, what did we pay 3 years of tuition for? Because well, you know, waste of time and money. And that happened to be a TV studio. So I was storyboarding for a cartoon show. And then they had somebody who presented their games on one of the shows called Hectic 99. And that person couldn't make it that one day. And they were in a huge emergency, and they ran up to me and they were like, here's Viva Pinata, Xbox 360. Could you talk about this on TV tomorrow? You could have the game. You know, and at that stage, I'd never played on an Xbox 360. I had only played PC games.
Did they give you one as well?
No. So
Found a friend.
This has been a philosophy of mine, like actually since the day I got that drawing job opportunity when I spoke to that person. And nearly like 80% of the jobs I've had have always been like seeing a gap and going, oh, cool. Like, let me try. Like, let me give it a go. Like I used to write for GQ, and it was at a launch event of a party, and somebody said, hey, that's the editor of GQ across the table. And I just went up to him and I said, hey, and his wife recognized me. And that was it. I got the job for like 4 years. Nice. And it was just about taking opportunities. So they needed an answer there and then. And I was like, okay. I had plans that evening. I had a whole bunch of stuff to do. And I just said, I'll do it. So I called a friend over who had an Xbox, begged him nicely to bring his console through to the house. And I played it for a bit. And the following day I did it on TV. And they asked me to come back.
How long ago, what year was this? So
I don't know.
2007?
2008, yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my foray onto TV, and then online video has been very interesting. So in about 2009, I got a job offer at a place down the road here, which no longer exists, called Zoopy, and they were Vodacom owned, and they just did digital video. And I basically ran a YouTube channel on Zoopy in games, like 4 videos a week on my own. We had a nice studio and stuff, which was really sweet. But I basically shot and edited a lot of those things. I saw Let's Plays with something. This was like 2008, so you can imagine, like, this is 2 years after YouTube. I was like, Let's Plays are going to be a thing. And I used to get like celebrities in, like Tracy McGregor and Jack Parrow and Jean A. Keatsman and Genevieve Morton, and like she was the cover girl of Sports Illustrated US, and like there happens to be South African. So I said, cool, come in, and we played games together. And that did really well, but Vodacom pulled their funding and the project died. And then I went back into structured TV. And then after a while I met Casper, and he was doing super well on digital video. And I was like, Zoopy was some of the best days like of my career. We had so much fun doing what we did. And I thought, like, is there an opportunity to get back into the space? That kind of thing. And then just the rest is history.
So, but I mean, when you say you're playing games, celebrities and stuff like that, I saw this pretty much similar videos that you did with MWeb as well. You used to do like a little the game. You have to correct me if I'm wrong. It was just Game Zone TV, wasn't it?
Yeah, Game Zone TV.
Yeah, I remember seeing, because when I was managing the YouTube channel for things, I was just going through all the videos, and I was like, Grant. I was like, what?
Yeah. So
and you had one with Phoenix,
Tanner Phoenix, yeah. Charlotte Copley's wife.
Yeah.
So
they're
killing it.
But that did well. I mean,
let's.
I mean, obviously, to how much you're allowed to talk about, but let's talk about that. I mean, why did that stop? Why did the Game Zone TV? I thought it did really well. I mean, looking at the videos, they had a lot of hits, or maybe they were built up over time, but they seemed like they were very well received from the community. Well,
Des, who was working at Emma at the time, was great. Like, I met him shortly after I left Zoopy.
Yeah.
I went into social media management and hated it. I was social media managing for malls, and it was difficult. Malls are difficult things to work for, because they're just so like.
Yeah.
That is the technical term.
Yeah, that's how we call those clients.
Like malls, is in like actual.
No, like
shopping malls.
Shopping malls. Yeah, I was doing social media for them, and I hated it. And I was in the mornings I was doing like espresso and like other TV work, and then I'd go back, and then I just thought I really need to put together some work and freelance. So that was a big moment for me to go, like, I'm leaving this job. After my 3 months probation, I left, and Des, I met him during that interval, and he was very excited about me writing, but then also found out about my Zoopy stuff and said, hey, would you be keen to do something like this for us? But it had a different vision, and it was more like a mini 5-minute TV show. We had a few creative differences around the structure of that show. But
Dave talked to me about that.
Creative
differences with like that's. I mean, that's the same thing. I've had a lot of creative differences.
No, he's incredible. Like, I find him, like, working with him amazing, and he's spot on when it comes to what he was doing with the community. What I was doing with Zoopy, he was coming from a background of taking television and putting it online, and also making that money go further, because that money
The
like
costs are much higher on TV, and so
and like instead of going like let's fund one video and only get one piece of content onto it, the idea was to fund one video, get a bunch of content onto it, and then potentially syndicate that onto a TV show or something. There was method to that madness. But the trade-off then is that it doesn't necessarily do well online.
Yeah.
Also, it was before its time. I think he was making quite a heavy call. I think now if that show came out, like in this YouTube climate, it would have been far more accepted.
I don't know, but I like those gaming shows. Like probably leads me to my next question. But those kind of gaming shows are things like when people host them. You know, there's been a couple on TV. I know Pippa did one on Vuzu, if I'm not mistaken.
The Verge or something.
Something like that. Another guy did one as well. One of the old radio DJs did a gaming show. But I mean, those things were like, even on TV, they were like, at times I was like,
I think they did well just because there was so little competition.
Yeah, but
once people started watching that sort of stuff online, when you're watching the IGNs and the GameSpots and all that sort of stuff,
so that's what I'm saying. Like those
competitions the competition's too thick online for a TV show that does the exact same thing once a week for half an hour to compete.
Look, have you guys watched Outside Xbox?
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite YouTube channels, and they have that format of doing like they have something called Show of the Week on a Friday, which is like, but it's a packed like 10-minute show of stuff that they've included for the community, kind of like The Verge compressed into 10 minutes, and it's brilliant. But they had approached the production of that in the considering YouTube, and if I had done that with Dez's instructions, I think it would have been a much better show. I didn't, because we were still learning a lot back then.
No, 100%. But then why is there not a Grant Hinds TV show at the moment? I'm pretty sure you could do a much better job than. Pippa's fantastic. She's great with gaming, but I mean, like,
I don't know if I could do a better job than Pippa.
I don't seem to disagree.
I think Pippa's incredible.
She is incredible. Don't get me wrong. Pippa's incredible, but I'm just saying, like the kind of the following you built, this Grant Hinds cult in a sense that you built behind you. I mean, these are kind of things. I mean, taking. I wouldn't see a show like that back in the day getting, as many views as perhaps you get. Maybe live. Your views you get quite a bit. You've got a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers. But I mean, now put you on a TV screen, say like this is on whatever, Mnet's, Vuzu, whichever is the new. I haven't watched TV in a year. Yeah, but whichever is like.
I think you've answered your question there.
Okay, I kind of have in a sense, but I was saying like have you been approached? Has someone said to you, besides Espresso, besides Hectic Down, has someone come to you that day and say, Grant, we want to put you on a TV channel? But I'm talking someone serious, not just somebody on the side.
No. There has been. But at the same time, I need to manage my energy. I've been in TV for 10 years. And the problem with television is you get a TV contracts here for a season is about 52 episodes sometimes. You're lucky if you get that. And that's usually a year contract, like a daily show, or you get 26 episodes or whatever. It's just like an episode a week. And it's very low cost, and the production company can just pull it whenever they feel like it. So I'm not... I've had bad experience in TV. It's a very volatile and scary industry. What's happening here?
We're just gonna follow the rules. Just keep our table nice and
kosher.
Sorry, you were saying.
It's a difficult industry to push into. Plus, I don't think that's the future of entertainment in many ways. It will evolve, but like right now here, there's a lot of people. So there's a lot of people taking a lot of money and hoarding it until the thing dies. So.
You mean talking about TV?
TV, yeah. So like instead of going like, how can we take this medium and change it and grow it and develop it? There are staff members and employees that are high up who are been in the industry for a quarter of a century. Yeah,
and they want to keep it slow for as long as they can. It's kind of the oil company model where I'm sure a lot of them are working on renewable energy and all that, but why do it when you're the big 5 oil companies? Like,
exactly.
Make people use cars for as long as you can.
Well, before we get into conspiracies about oil companies, I feel like that's where I was going to go to. Someone be like, oh, that's right. But my question is, and I'll probably have you answer this one as well, is how did your family take it that you studied? I mean, you were very successful TV, say, for 10 years, but then the decision to kind of go completely freelance. Well, maybe not completely, but how did your family have any sort of response to you saying, I'm going to go working, I probably won't make a lot of money in the first year or two, but eventually it's going to work out? How did your family respond to that?
They responded well. Look, you must understand my history. My family don't understand the creative arts and the creative industry. And I went straight into creative. I studied and they supported that. Then when I said I'm doing video games and TV and got paid for it, they were like, that's crazy. They didn't think that was a thing. But I was getting money for that. And they were like, okay, well, something's working and it's cool that you're on TV. Then when I made the call saying, listen, I need to switch into something like this full time, like they supported that decision going, okay, cool. You've got a track record of doing well. Like you've done the right thing. You made the right decisions
enough times in a row. Yeah.
To make this track record work. And then when about a year ago, I said, look, I'm going full time into YouTube. And that was probably the most antagonistic. Well, not antagonist, the most like skeptical that they were. But at the same time, they were like, okay, well, give it a shot because you've given it a shot up until now.
And it's worked every time so far. Yeah.
So yeah, you just got to approach these things really smartly and think about how you're doing them and see if the opportunity is the right opportunity. Otherwise, it's just, a lot of people want to do something because they see other people doing it, or they are like, what, why, some people probably watching PewDiePie going like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. If you don't understand why he's successful, what he's doing, what decisions he's made to be where he's at, like it doesn't just happen overnight. It's not It's a calculated thing. It's why I freak out when people tune like Miley Cyrus or Paris Hilton or whatever. Like those people have worked incredibly hard to be where they're at. Trust me, they're not chilling out all day. They've got agents. They are meeting with people. They're grinding. They're working mad hard. And it gives you this illusion. The medium gives you this illusion that they're doing nothing. Yeah. And it's the same thing with YouTube.
Yeah, they chill and then they do a 5-minute video. It must have taken them 10 minutes to make. Like
Instagram posts here and there, promote something. And yourself, you've always been, as a comedian, obviously.
Well, the thing is, a comedian, even that was like a part-time thing for the longest time. I always had a corporate job, went to university for 8 years and then went to work and all that sort of stuff. And in fact, my grand's reaction was classic when I said I was resigning, it was like 2 months ago, and resigned and quit the job. Her very first reaction, like to my dad, was like, all that education. Like, as if
but
it's like...
if I'm wrong, you come from a somewhat creative family. Your brother...
Yeah, my brother's a drag queen, and my mom's a teacher, and my dad's a preacher. It's like, I suppose where outspoken is where the creativity comes from.
It's a good blend of...
Yeah, it sounds like a sitcom, like a writer for a sitcom. Preacher, teacher, and the drag queen, and then me. But
I just remember Reese from high school. He was always, I did drama and he did drama as well.
Yeah,
a couple of years ahead of me, but he was always very theatrical.
He's helped me a hell of a lot. I think this journey for me has just been this case of going. I've seen this happen before in comedy, where the guys who made themselves available for this opportunity when comedy was exploding 5 or 6 years ago, those are the guys who are doing really well now, and they've got the big jobs and they'll be able to do their own one-man shows and DVDs and all that. Because when it was kind of on the kind of bubbling under stage, they went, screw it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to dedicate myself. Whereas I was sitting back going, I don't know about this comedy thing. I'll play it safe. And it's something as small as a client in Joburg will go, hey, can you come through? We got this event. Can you do it? It's tomorrow. And you're like, I've got work and I'm not going to be able to get out.
That could have been that.
And those are those things that they just keep ticking over. And yes, for 6 or 7 months, I have a friend Dusty who always used to say, you eat shit till you eat caviar. And it's just one of the things of going like, there are a couple of months where, cool, I don't know, I'm going to pay the bills this month. Or, cool, when a friend invites you out and you're like, well, can't make it because I haven't got cash, whatever.
I've got my wallet at home.
Yeah,
can you get this round?
That's that sort of stuff. But I guess the thing is here with the YouTube thing, but for me more the kind of eSports thing. Yeah. Because I think where Grant has been great help for me is like, he's helping me at least identify what my vibe's about. Because I'm not like trying to copy what Grant's doing. Like I'm trying to do my own thing. My thing is way more, like my channel is way more about comedy. It's way more about like the games I dig. So about Dota and almost like the industry as a whole. So some of my vlogs about like why do games cost so much and DLC and all that sort of stuff. That's my vibe. Grant's vibe is completely different. He's about hype and enjoyment of games and getting people like enthusiastic about games. I'm way too much of a nerd. I take games too seriously. If folks are having too much fun, I'm kind of like, no, we take this shit seriously. This is not a game. Like, or if anyone wants to get my back habits to tell me it's just a game, I'm sure you're the same though. But like,
oh yeah, no, like I've got my games that I prefer. I come from a background where like I'm talking to people that don't take games seriously at all.
Yeah.
They think they're for kids.
Do you play a lot of casual games, or are you so busy that you just manage to
See this way. Define a casual game.
like do you like myself and Gareth, like after this podcast, I'll go sit there and play some CS:GO, maybe play some Division, just for fun. He'll go home, play some Dota, play some whatever.
Dark Souls.
Overwatch, Dark Souls.
Yeah,
what's your go-to? Like, I mean, you play a lot of Hearthstone, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I love Hearthstone.
Yeah, you play
COD. That was the thing.
I love COD. Yeah, COD's my guilty pleasure. Like
COD console, PC. What's your vibe?
PS4. Like,
okay, I'll let it slide.
console game is
it's actually so much bigger. No. Like console, like COD console in this country
huge.
I did not know how enormous it was until I got more involved with MGOs and working at MWeb with the MGMS stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is huge.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
And I look at COD PC. Sorry, Luca, but it's dying. It's like on this like exponential
But do you not
decline.
think that's because Counter-Strike does offer an alternative, whereas you don't have that as an option?
Counter-Strike's free to play, so I think
No,
that's
it's not.
It's cheap to play.
$15 more.
Yeah.
pretty much. And also,
exchange rates.
Steam sales, guys.
Yeah.
It's always in a Steam sale. And because compare that to a annual purchase for Call of Duty plus DLC.
Yeah, at $800 at least, and then.
But I mean,
that makes sense that like you buy.
But I mean, let's just
Go
get
simple.
one thing clear. Like this table right now is that we're past that stage where we pay for games. We've all passed that stage.
There's
It's
still
a
games
good-
I buy.
It's like
Humble bundles.
okay, Humble
I've got a
Bundle
retainer
support.
at the Humble Bundle. I just
Yeah.
basically like my money comes with my account every month.
yeah, but I'm saying like that's the kind of the crux of it. Like
And Steam
we
sales.
we love gaming. We work so hard in gaming because we want to just get more gaming things. But like, when was the last time you?
I bought COD on PC. Black
You
Ops
bought
3.
COD, but
Yeah.
did you get given a copy as
I
well?
got given one on PS4, but I
But
bought
you got-
one on PC.
Alright.
I bought the Division on PC.
You did, but you got it on console as well. Because I
I
saw you
got
in
it.
unboxing.
Yeah, but that was I actually weirdly enough got that after.
Did you get that? You got that sleeper agent one, right? The one with the watch and the. Did you not?
No. I got given some stuff. I haven't. It's not public yet. I'm gonna do like a sweet Instagram of it.
Okay, next time.
But yeah, I got some stuff, but it didn't include the game.
It's coming soon though.
But I bought the Division on PC. I buy a lot of PC games. I think the PC games are better priced.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah, but your console. I mean, let's talk like your video, your production. We'll talk more about this in a bit. But like, obviously, when you want to have guests on, it's easier to like sit with controls and play instead of like him sitting on your lap on the PC while you're doing something.
I do it
Surely
all in the
it's
same
like-
place.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it must be easier with wireless controllers. Where you're sitting on a couch with a green screen behind you.
I've got one of these articulated mic stands,
Yeah.
and it's super easy just to
Okay.
whatever I'm playing. And then I've just got two screens. One's the PC screen and one's the console screen. So depending on what I'm doing, I just like press record and turn.
Yeah.
And the XSplit is pulling from like either the Hog, the Elgato, or the in-game stuff. Super chill.
I know some of those words, but like
The game capture.
Okay, but
Hog, I must say, I prefer that to my Elgato. It's way more reliable than my Elgato.
yeah, game capture cards are a bit of a bane for us,
Yeah.
at least with the delay and etc. Working cameras and syncing everything.
Well, apparently the new Elgato is coming out has lag-free.
Ooh, yeah, we'll have to.
Or actually, Razer have got a new one coming out that's lag-free.
Okay, we'll
Gotta
see
think
that.
process
Take
is
notes, Luca.
I forgot what it's called.
I mean, I guess that was kind of where I'm leaning to next. I mean, let's talk a bit about production. Let's talk about. I mean, one thing we always used to speak about like videos stuff like that when I come to talk to you, because I mean I at one stage wanted to get more involved in YouTube and videos stuff like that, but then I was like, nah, I got the eSports thing, I got the Sharkcasting thing, that's my vibe. But then I started doing my vlog show, whatever. But let's talk about production. So a day in the life of one of Grant Hinds' video recordings. Like your production setup, is it like ours as nice and neat as ours, you know? Or is it like quite...
No, we don't have coasters. I've been to your studio.
wow,
We've
yeah,
never
this
once
is-
been offered a coaster.
They say a carpenter's bench is always the ugliest. That's pretty much the studio. So why do you have a green screen, man? You can just cover it all up.
Yeah.
No, my space is quite small. I
You
have
still live in your same apartment where
Yes.
I visited you?
yeah.
I
So
can never find it. I drive past some building and I'm like...
it's good. I don't want you to find it.
We were in Rondebosch and I was saying to Luca, I was like, I I think Grant lives here.
You
No,
have
wait.
to do
I
a
think,
Cribs.
I think he
MTV
lives here.
Cribs.
I think he lives
MTV
here.
Cribs, yeah.
One of these places. But anyway,
Trip
yeah.
over my cat for trashes at the door.
So talk us through a day in your life, because I assume you do a lot of videos and playing and stuff during the day when you're not.
Yeah.
Free. So talk us through a day.
So like yesterday, I had marathoned like 3 videos out, which was great.
Because of the beta weekend.
Yeah, it was a beta weekend, heavy beta weekend. Borderlands, pretty much the same thing. Battleborn and Doom. Like I got 2 of those out, and then some Trackmania. That was fun. Trackmania is a lot of fun. But okay, so an average day is I do a series of different videos. The kind of content that I produce dictates how a video is produced at the end of the day. So instead of me, I always have a dream of what I want to make, and then I go like, what equipment do I need? How can
What do you mean a dream? Like literally sleep. Dream about what you want to make.
No, I write it down on a piece of paper, like a goal.
Okay. I thought you because I'm talking about how your day starts.
He was hoping it's going to be something far more like poetic.
Like some
I have a
supernatural
dream.
Like I'm Tim and Eric. I just go like, yes, eagle boring up through Terry Cruz's biceps, done.
But anyway, yes.
Yeah, concept complete. No, I have a write down exactly what I'm going to be doing throughout the month. I use an organizational system called Trello. It's amazing. It's free to use.
How do you spell that?
Trello. One of my favorite parts about Trello is that it has a calendar that you can.
Is this an application?
Yeah, it's an application. And I have one board with ideas and videos that I want to shoot, another board with it being shot and edited, blah, blah, blah. And then I have scheduled upload dates that are attached to each of those cards. So it's kind of like having a board with a card that you plucked on, right? So then you move it across to each column as you see fit. Anyway, so I have a big overview of what is going to be uploaded for the next couple of weeks, what still needs to be shot, what still needs to be edited, and etc. That kind of thing. Then I will just I usually workshop a day or two to get a whole bunch of videos out, especially if I have to move around the studio because I don't have a lot of space. I have to set up the green screen. It's there. So while it's there, let me see what I can shoot.
Everything that's green screen,
yeah. Yeah, pretty much everything that gets green screen and everything that needs to be green screen on that trailer board, I look and go, cool, is that game installed? I'm a multi-gaming channel, so I'm not like Ali who just does Call of Duty or TLO who just does StarCraft. I'm somebody who just focuses on a ton of different games. So that in itself has a whole bunch of new challenges from a production standpoint. You have to make sure that you've got the games, that they're scheduled. If a video is sponsored, is that video going to be up on time? I'm supposed to have a Ratchet and Clank video up tomorrow. Not going to happen because the game hasn't arrived. So that kind of sucks.
I thought you were going to say because I'm here doing a podcast. It's I'm glad it's a little bit out of your control.
No, yeah, it's kind of frustrating. I was hoping to get it this morning and have the video done. The green screens, everything is ready to go, except I need the game. So
minor piece missing.
Yeah, very, very minor piece missing. I'll just be pretend to play the trailer. The cinematic is fun.
Well, IGN kind of did that for their Division review. They took a lot of footage from the beta. You can clearly see it with the beta. And
that's got that stamp on it.
Yeah. They clearly took footage from the beta and they put it into their review. It was a horrible review from them. But anyway, so you were ready to do Ratchet and Clank, and then.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've got that. So that it's very organized and very production orientated. And the reason is, if I don't, I've got a lot of mates abroad who are quite successful YouTubers, and that's a huge part of doing having a successful channel. There's a production line. They understand what they're producing, when it's going out. They're communicating with their audience all the time. If I miss an upload, I need to let people know on Twitter. There needs to be an expectation of content. It's weird. I'll promise. I've just promised to start uploading every single day. I missed Saturday. I lost subscribers.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Easy.
Did you drop below your 9K or did you stay?
No, I lost about 10. So it's been very interesting that people is
that a common trend when you don't give up?
Yeah.
If you've told people that, I'm trying to do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing.
So it's just fuck this guy, no video. Forget the other 100 videos I've enjoyed.
How would you react if your TV channel just went, oh yeah, I know you paid for a month's worth of stuff, but we didn't do it today, so just sorry, watch reruns. And you go, screw DSTV, I'm not going to buy this anymore.
That kind of discipline is something that YouTubers here need to have. If you're creating digital content, because that's the expectation of the consumer.
Yeah.
So if you're watching something and you're not disciplined, the person you're watching is not disciplined enough to upload every day. I get mad if PewDiePie doesn't upload one day. Like I'm waiting every single day for a video, kind of thing. So like when he doesn't do it, I have negative sentiment, and that negative sentiment can translate
Get
into
enough of those in a row, and then you're like, "Oh, screw it, I'm not following you anymore."
I'm done. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
done.
All
So,
right.
But it's the same as a positive sentiment. It's often you're not going to subscribe the first time they watch your channel, but all of a sudden they watch your second, your third, or they go down the kind of black hole that is, watch this video next, or this is recommended, and they watch 4 or 5, and they're like, actually, I dig this guy's whole channel, subscribe.
Yeah.
Because you get enough positive in a row that you build that kind of positive sentiment.
And it's harder to build positive sentiment than it is to build negative sentiment. You just need to not upload one day and all of a sudden someone hates you.
Yeah.
To build positive sentiment, make sure you're keeping your promises. You're uploading the times when you do promise to do it. With gaming, it's the more often the better. That's just kind of the norm.
Yeah, I mean, there's always things happening, patch changes, things like that, new games coming out. I mean, there's always content to produce. Like your videos as well. I mean, you got like changes with some of your videos where you got your comedy thing, you got your...
Sometimes I just do vlogs.
Yeah. It's like, you got the time. I mean, you maybe have a bit more time on your hands now, but still have a newborn child. But like, you can get out quite a bit of content.
Yeah, it does help.
Newborn child can play games as well.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just been a case of going, I'm still at this stage where finding what it is that I do and what people like and all that sort of stuff. So in that sense, I mean, you talk about launching something every day. The problem sometimes when you do different things is you go videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But one Monday it's a vlog, then the next Monday it's a Dota fails video, then the next it's a comedy piece, and you've almost got to go. Mondays is business time.
Yeah.
Wednesdays is personal vlog. Friday is a gaming video every single week.
Yeah.
So people get used to, cool, I'm only here for the gaming videos. I only come here on Friday.
Yeah, you got to. So that's one of the things that is super important if you're building a channel, is to find out what your voice is, what your contribution is. That's what I like to see it. It's a community. We're all like speaking into this community and representing it to a degree.
Yeah.
What are we saying and what are we contributing? Is it positive? Is it negative? That's generally why I don't do negative stuff on my channel. I don't go like, I'm in 5 reasons why I hate Batman. Never gonna do that. Like, 'cause it's just like,
Because you can't think of 5, that's why.
yeah, that's right. His parents have died way too many times. Only problem so far. But it's not what I want to leave behind when I'm done here.
Yeah.
I might get caught in a car accident later today. When people at my funeral go, "Jeez," on that. Thank you for not letting me die. But I want people at the funeral to go like, "What did he contribute?" And if they go like, "Oh, he was a bit of
Boo, he hates Batman.
Yeah, like he knocked games. He was a bit of he was a gamer-gator. He didn't want people to play games.
It's not even his real hair color.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, I mean, this is part of the...
Did I just bring the elephant into the room?
The pink elephant.
I just completely forgot about it because I've seen so many photos and videos of you now with the pink hair. I just kind of forgot your natural hair color is actually brunette, brown.
Yeah, I'm brown.
Yeah. So I
look like a mouse.
I mean, I looked at the other day. I had one of my Facebook memories was our insert we did on Espresso, and I was like, that's not Grant. Like that looks nothing.
Grant has pink hair. Who is this
looks
man?
Nothing like
But
Grant.
you see, that's why I've kept it. It's just so. It's like I
becomes
found my
standard.
real hair color.
My girlfriend asked me, she's like, why does that guy have pink hair? I was like,
That's Grant Hinds. He has
his
pink
thing.
hair.
It's
my hair.
It makes people remember.
I wish I could take a pill.
I've seen photos of me without a beard. That's the same thing. I'm
I
like,
saw that as well, and I was like, whoa.
what?
Whoa.
Just who I am now. Yeah.
But I mean, let's talk about YouTube and videos and uploading constantly. Let's talk about as Gareth mentioned, he stumbled upon his first hater when he did his first video. Let's talk about any haters.
Yeah, I get tons of haters. I mean, very conservative. Generally, mock me for my pink hair. That's the first thing.
So it's more about you and less about your content.
Oh, a little bit. I've got to be very careful. You can't take every bit of feedback,
Yeah,
because
100%.
especially if it's coming from a negative place. 95% of my feedback is super positive, and people like what I'm producing. That lawnmower is going to get mad irritating. I'm so sorry.
Is there a lawnmower?
There is indeed.
There's a weed eater.
Weed eater, yeah.
Yeah.
But don't worry. Maybe you're not hearing it, but we can hear it.
No, it's definitely coming to the mic now that you pointed it out. I thought it was
That's
just a
fine.
buzz.
Maybe it's a little humble drone in the background.
Yeah.
You get a lot of hate like weed eaters during podcasts, but you got to think very carefully about what you take seriously. Luca, are you okay?
Watching. Oh.
Aggressive.
Luca was behind the camera and nearly
We
died.
do the behind the scenes video after this.
But I mean, guys openly say on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck you, Grant.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you, pink hair.
I get called a fag. I get called a whole
Really?
bunch of stuff. Yeah, no,
You
just straight
should
up.
take those subscribers and do like a dedicated video.
I
You're
did-
like you're sitting at a dinner table with a candle and you're like to them,
Look
you're
for-
pretending to have dinner with them as like a gay couple or something.
Oh,
That
yeah.
will really, really grind their gears. But
yeah, I just think these really conservative, like weird, like South Africans who just firstly don't understand YouTube.
but how do they get on? I mean, obviously you have a big reach, but I mean, how do they stumble on no video? These
Well,
conservative guys.
so
probably know
there are
nothing about gaming.
They find their kids watching it and then quickly jump on to protect their kids from this big guy bloody Moffy who's giving them the satanic game.
But like,
videos.
what goes through? Like, my understanding is what goes through someone's mind when they see a video and like it pops up on their newsfeed. Someone shared it or something, and they're not a gamer, but they watch the video. They watch the video and it's tighty, maybe first half or whatever, and then they just say like, you know what? This guy's fucking triggered me. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe
But it gets
3 minutes of my life watching this guy with pink hair talk. I'm going to tell him that he's a fucking fag.
No, but what I love is I'll be like so angry typing and go, you must be logged into comment.
No,
Sign up to YouTube, open up a Google Plus account. Cool, get my verification email. Yes. Okay, cool. Where was I?
Where was my say? Got to
no.
vocalize. Well, there are a couple of reasons. Often their friends like share the video. And I have a lot of these. My friend thinks you're so good, but actually you're shit. It's like, okay, cool.
Tell your friend he's right.
Yeah. I get a couple of those. Sometimes if my videos are sponsored, they run as ads. But the only time I get dumped on for that is if it's, if you run a YouTube channel, you can make your ads unskippable.
Oh, yeah.
It's really mean. If you have a YouTube channel, don't do that. So some people do that, and then my ads are 5-minute videos, and they go like, stop it, and it's like, you just tell the person.
Stop it.
Just tell the person whose channel it is to stop doing that to you because they're being dicks. That's what's happening.
I actually noticed that before. I thought maybe my button was broken and I couldn't skip it. Now there's actually unskippable ads.
It's the creator who's making
maximum sellout potential.
Yeah, so and it's just not very viewer friendly. And also, if it's not my video, it's an Omo video. That's all that. A Dove soap
I've
commercial.
I've seen your video a few times on Twitch, even like Twitch adverts. I know
really?
It just runs through like at least once or twice.
That's cool.
But I mean, again, let's step away from YouTube a little bit. I see you sitting on the bouncy ball. We didn't have a chair for you, but you chose the bouncy ball.
Yeah, this is for my core.
You've kind of, I've seen lately you've done this like both you and Elias have gone this like fitness route. Like you guys are keeping fit. I've seen your selfies in the gym, and stuff like that.
Selfies in the gym.
Yeah,
and I've noticed that you've restrained yourself for about 45 minutes to not tell us you're vegan.
Oh yeah, I don't know how that's possible. So for the most
I think it's because you knew that we knew.
Sorry, my question was, how important is that sort of in terms of balance? Because you say your day is videos, this, that, you got to do this, play these games. How important to you as a gamer and a YouTuber is it to keep fit?
Oh, very important. Damn.
Spread that word so more people can keep fit.
Yeah, it's mad important. Like if you could speak to Luca, if you're in an eSports lounge or whatever.
That's shameless plug. Sorry.
If you are a part of an esports team, a proper team will be doing a fitness regime as well.
Yeah.
And the reason is physical fitness really does affect your mental capacity. Like it affects your mental aptitude. Means like you're getting the right hormones, like the basic things. Even if it's not your physique that you're looking after, it's like, are you calm under pressure? How like all those things are directly attributed to fitness. Even depression can be like if you're depressed and if you're not doing any physical exercise, give it 2 weeks before you do anything drastic, please. Like that is that you'll find will change you.
Grant's personal phone number will be in the comments.
I'm telling you that and taking a dump. 2 ways to alleviate depression. You'll be having the worst day, and then you just take a number 2, and you just
I have to admit there was once or twice where you just like, hey man, like I just want to ask you something, and it was something quite like depressing, and it's like, have you taken a dump today? You're like, you know what, I haven't.
Yeah, and then you come back and it's like, boom.
It's funny you mention that because as I said to you when I was in Johannesburg, the Samsung event, I spoke to a woman who knew you worked with you, and she's like, Grant, yeah, he's taking the stinkiest poos in the office. What? From someone from Espresso literally said that to me. We were sitting at the bar.
That was their memory of me?
I remember Grant for 3 things.
Grant.
Pink hair, his smile, and the stinkiest stuff.
And it's like, oh, Grant, I love Grant, I miss him. And I was like...
But his turd.
Man, he's dropped the stinkiest. But anyway, I've been given the 5-minute warning here from our producer as we are cutting close. I mean, I guess it's probably good to leave it on that note. I mean, talking about gym and fitness. And, okay. Well, we're gonna
park that
talk.
turd there. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah. Take your daily shit. But Grant, this definitely won't be the last time we have you here. Obviously, in a few weeks, we'll talk a bit more about, a few months maybe, talk a bit more about gaming and YouTube. And
Yeah, I need to chat to you guys about live streaming, so we'll...
well, there we go. We need to talk to you about YouTubes, and you need to talk to us about live streams. So I think that's...
People need to talk.
Yeah, we need to have a proper sit-down meeting. We got the Italian mob boss here. He'll set up a nice meeting with all the families, all the... He accepts it. But anyway, I'm gonna
abuse.
let you. So obviously, I'll throw your YouTube channel down in the comments.
Man, I appreciate it.
It's Grant Hinds YouTube, and then your Twitter, all your social media. Gareth, any final words?
I would like to know. Grant says that he's a big expert on he's always had this ability to like find the next gap. You know, he always said like you've had this ability to like that's the next gap, go for it. Like
I'm a good strategist.
All your jobs have been where you've seen the gap. What's the next gap?
I would like to get into live streaming. I actually don't know. Like the YouTube thing is relatively new for me. One of the big things, and we didn't even touch on this, is I went to VidCon and I met KSI and like we hung out together with like met Toby. Wrong time to talk about that. And a whole bunch of other big YouTubers. And like there's a long way to go for my channel to reach that stage and make that into a career. And that could be 5 years from now. So the next gap, I don't know. Like where YouTube is going is probably where the next like gap in the market is, or like where the industry progresses. But I'm not an opportunist looking for like space. I just want to do cool things. And I want to leave a legacy of being able to produce rad content, you know? So yeah.
Okay, one last question.
Yeah.
Any advice to up and coming YouTubers? Quick.
Do it.
30 seconds.
Just do it. Listen to as much criticism as you can, and then go through the Creator Academy. Google YouTube Creator Academy. There's a whole gaming section. It'll blow your mind. The more you do of that, and the more self-critical you are about what you're producing, like Gareth is doing, he's going through a lot of like introspection. It will help you produce some really good content. It's just because somebody's talking in front of a microphone and playing a game doesn't mean that they're going to be popular. Everybody's doing that. What are you contributing to the conversation?
Wow. Right. We'll definitely end it on that. That was fantastic. All right. For myself, Grant, and Gareth, we're going to say goodbye. Have a great weekend. And don't buy anything from Gumtree.